Guys, it's Kate again. I absolutely love my library, and when I go, I usually check out a lot of books. I usually go to the new releases because I've read a lot of the older stuff. But these last couple months when I go, I've done massive library hauls because for some reason, I don't know if it's this time of year, but they've got a ton of new releases in. Lots of books I was eyeing, possibly going to buy last year, and then I see it at the library and I'm like, well, I have to get that. So yeah, I'm really excited to show you what I got this last trip. So I requested 3 books, and when we went in to get them, I decided to browse the new books as well and ended up getting 11 more. But I thought I'd show you what I requested first. So the first one I wanted was the Monk and Robot books by Becky Chambers. This is a new edition of A Psalm for the Wild Built and A Prayer for the Crowned Shy bound together. And I had actually considered buying this one, but I wanted to try it from the library first just to see if I liked it. I've heard that it's like really slow, really vibey sci-fi, and so it's not some people's cup of tea, but I do really enjoy that sort of thing, so I'm definitely going to give it a shot. So I'm very excited that the library had that. Then I started a thread in a Facebook group I'm in about different middle grade books and how good they are, and people chimed in with their favorites from the last few years. And this is one of them that they recommended. It's called A Rover's Story by Jasmine Warga. And I've heard it's kind of like The Wild Robot, but in space. Where just a very empathetic, cute robot, like learning about life and stuff. So I went ahead, when I saw it on that thread, I went ahead and requested this one. So I'm very happy to get this one. I'll probably read it sometime this month for middle grade March. And then the last one I requested was Green Glass House by Kate Milford. This was another one from the thread. It's about a Chinese boy who was adopted and has a very close relationship with his adopted family and the really cool house they live in. I don't know much more about it than that. I just know that it looked very vibey and like something I would have loved to give a try. So then in the adult new releases, I grabbed The River Has Roots by Amal El-Mater. I was possibly going to read their other book, This Is How You Lose a Time War, but it looked too rough for me. So I was very excited when they came out with this one. And I, again, don't know much about it, but it looks really short. A friend of mine on Goodreads really enjoyed it, and so I'm excited to give it a try. That's the great thing about the libraries. There's books where you're not sure if you're going to love them or if they'll be right for you, but the library is free. So, I mean, this one usually costs like $28 or something. And, you know, I couldn't spend that much on a book just to try it. So I'm really grateful for the library. Then I got A Guardian and a Thief by Megha Majumdar. This was just announced today that it's on the long list for the Women's Prize, which I'm only, like, this is the first year I'm really aware of what that is. But I had checked this book out before that, so now I'm even more excited to read it. But this one is about, I believe it's about a family in India who are trying to leave and they get all their papers in order. They've been like saving up to leave. But then somebody steals their papers and you're kind of following the guardian who's trying to get their family out and the thief who's also trying to get their family out. And empathizing with both, you know, while we follow their stories. So I'm really excited to read this one. I'm hoping it'll be as good as it sounds. And then last from the adult new releases was Waiting for the Long Night Moon by Amanda Peters. I believe, I might be wrong about this, but I believe this is an Indigenous author, and this is a short story collection. And I had seen this on Goodreads and thought it looked really good. So then as soon as I saw it at the library, I was like, whoa, is this here already? I need that. So I'm very excited to have this one. And yeah. Then the books I got from the children's section were a mix of new releases and then a couple that I was like, ooh, I need that. So one of them was the second book of Sophie Mouse by Poppy Green, The Emerald Berries. And I read the first Sophie Mouse actually at the library last month, as in last January. And then when I went to the library in February, I was like, well, I need the second Sophie Mouse book. And I was very fortunate that they had it because they didn't have all the books in order. They had a lot of the later books. So I know some lucky kid is reading through them right now, but they had the second one. And so far, this is just the cutest series. It's got illustrations. It's got empathetic characters. It's got a little message. Very wholesome. So I'm just excited to continue reading through these. So I got my Sophie Mouse fix. And then this book, they had the first two there, but I only grabbed one because I wasn't sure yet if I liked it. But Witchy Cakes, Book 1, Sweet Magic, and then written by Carol LaRue. This one, I believe I saw it on Jesse the Reader's BookTube channel. And since he's a librarian now, he was reading through a lot of kids' books, and this is one he recommended. So I'm very excited to read this. I mean, I absolutely love baking. That's one of my favorite hobbies. So I'm excited to read this one. Does it have illustrations? Oh, it does. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, I'm really excited. I'm going to have to prioritize this one. Then I grabbed the graphic novel of Tuck Everlasting. And I don't really plan to read this. I just wanted to see the art and see if they got the vibes right according to what's in my mind. Because I have very strong opinions about the Tuck Everlasting cottage and how cozy it needs to be. So I'm hoping they got that right. But yeah, I wanted to give this a shot. Then The Teacher of Nomadland by Daniel Neri. I think this was up for an award or like Barnes & Noble Book of the Year or something last year, but it ended up on my radar. And I've been really wanting to read it. It's from a perspective I don't really know much about. Something that was happening in the Middle East during World War II. And so I'm very excited to try this one. I was super surprised to see the library had it already. Since it's a pretty new release. So excited about that one. This one was one I specifically went looking for. I've seen Stuart Gibbs everywhere. His Animal series, his Spy School series, and I wanted to try something by him, but the Spy School series is huge. So I was like, you know what? I'll try one of the Charlie Thorne ones. You know, kind of espionage-y, very fun, very clever. So I'm excited to give this a try. And then if I enjoy it, there's like 2 or 3 more books. So that's exciting. This one is one I almost bought at Barnes & Noble the end of last year because it was like one of their featured books. It's called Growing Home by Beth Ferry. I believe, yeah, it has illustrations too. And like everything in the house is alive. And it sounds like just such a fun concept. Once again, it was a little expensive for me. So I'm like, oh, I probably won't get to read that for a while. And then the library had it. And I'm like, yes, hooray for the library. I'm obsessed with my library. Like, I can't stop talking about it. Then I found The Great American Mouseicle by Julie Andrews and her daughter, Emma Walton Hamilton. And this one, I don't know much about it except for it's by Julie Andrews and her daughter. And it's got some really cute illustrations. I think it has something to do with show business, well, musical, so obviously. But it just looked so cute. I couldn't pass it up. It's like a hybrid between a picture book, but like a young reader's book too. It's a little longer. So I'm excited for that one. And then the last one, this stack is trying to fall over. The last one is The Blue Velvet Chair by Riel Cortez. I don't know much about it at all, but it reminded me of some of the picture books I grew up on in the 90s and early 2000s. Just the style, just, you know, I read a couple with like an important, big, oversized chair. And I just really like the vibes. And I've been reading more picture books in the last year or so. And so I wanted to give this one a shot and just see if it's as cute as it looked. So yeah, those are my library books I have out currently. I'm real excited to read through them. A lot of stuff for middle grade March. And yeah. And I know too, if I don't make it through all these books, you know, they were free. I can check them out again. It's really low stakes and it's really, really fun. So thank you all for watching and I will see you again soon. Bye.